Hi guys, thanks for tuning in again. This week I was a little bit more active than last week, but of course that doesn't mean that I was walking a marathon or something like that. But I think this week should show a little bit of a success compared to last week, where I actually gained some weight. So if you like to find out, and I guess since you tuned in, you are interested in finding out, then just stay on for the next few minutes. And as always, thank you for watching. As a quick reminder, I'm doing the Weight Watchers program, and in Weight Watchers each food has points assigned to it. I have 44 points per day, additional 28 points per week that I can use if I like, but I try not to touch them. I should always aim to use up all daily points, but can save up to 4 points, which will then be taken into my weekly allowance. And I can also earn points for physical activities. For instance, every 1,500 steps earns me a point. But now let's get started. As it was a new week, I started Sunday with some comfort food and ordered in some KFC. They had a promotion on hot wings, where you could save a lot on a 20-piece bucket. So that's what I ordered. As that whole bucket would have cost me 58 points, I chose to only have half of them as my late breakfast. So 29 points. Quick side note, I will likely never order KFC again. Not only because it has so many points due to it being deep fried and comes with a crust full of carbs, I also had to wait 2 hours for them to deliver it, after the website said it would be 30 to 45 minutes. After ordering I was told 90 minutes, but it was 2 hours in the end. And of course the food came in cold. Not warm, not even lukewarm, cold. As I was planning to at least reheat some of the stuff, because I couldn't eat everything in one sitting, it wasn't that much of a difference, but I would have at least thought to be able to eat some of the stuff still warm and not have to reheat everything from the get-go. However, reheating it in the oven just made it too crunchy and I didn't enjoy it at all. So this whole affair was a bust. Later that day then I just had a can of a Thai soup, which only came in at 4 points. In the evening then I reheated another 5 wings, which came in at 15 points, this time in the microwave, which made them taste a little bit different than coming from the oven, but also wasn't a great hit. That whole day added up to 48 points, 4 more than my daily allowance, and as I earned 2 points from walking, I had to borrow 2 points from my weekly allowance. Monday I opted for a late breakfast again, and made myself another comfort food that I also made for myself last week, which is spaghetti alla carbonara. Due to me using almond milk and leaving out the meat, it was only 32 points, but I had enough to divide it into 2 portions, one for the late breakfast and one for lunch. I then ventured out for a walk, and of course while trying to film a squirrel, I ran into a fox again. Actually 3 times that day, which also could have been 3 different foxes, but I think it was the same one. Maybe he just likes me. Of course, the full material will be shared along the way in a separate video. In the evening then I had the remaining 5 hot wings, 15 points, which means the whole day added up to 47 points. Again, 3 more than my daily allowance, and with earning 2 points from walking, I had to borrow another point from my weekly allowance. On Tuesday I started the morning with cereal, where I forgot to film the bowl when it was full, so I can only show you the remains before I finished them off, and I also had 3 eggs, 11 points for this. For lunch I had a stir-fry meal, that you just have to put into your frying pan and heat up. As you can see in the beginning it looked like quite a lot. But of course, as usual, once it's done, it looks not that much. It tasted okay though. 11 points for this. In the evening I had a salad again, where all the ingredients were 0 points except for 2 tablespoons of oil and 2 packs of herb mix, which added up to 10 points. As a snack, somewhere in between on that day I had a cabanossi sausage, 8 points, and to snack on something in the evening while watching TV, I had 5 points worth of bacon snacks. So this day added up to 45 points, again 1 point more than I'm allowed, but I earned 1 point from walking, so I was spot on that day. Wednesday I started with a classic, bread rolls and cold cuts, 12 points. As a second breakfast or snack or whatever you want to call it, I had the second cabanossi sausage, 8 points. And for lunch I used up the second part of the ingredients for the salad, another 10 points. And in the evening then I had chicken nuggets, 14 points worth of them, which all added up to 44 points. And as I have also earned 2 points from walking, I was able to put 2 of my 3 borrowed points back into my weekly allowance. On Thursday it was again 12 points worth of bread rolls and cold cuts. And for lunch I had a guilty pleasure, ramen again, which comes at 19 points, so that's the reason why I call it guilty pleasure. And on top of that, I threw on some leftover spring onions that I did not use up for my salad. In the evening I had a Pichelsteiner Topf again, which is just 4 points as you might know by now. And the remaining 9 points I had that day I invested again in snacks, which were some cheese balls that I ate while watching TV. This ended the day again on spot with 44 points. To switch things up a little bit, I started Friday with some morning muffins, 3 pieces that I had with some nice strawberry jam, 16 points. I then went out to get a haircut because my hair was getting ridiculously long. To celebrate that afterwards, I indulged in having a kebab. Not a döner this time, but a dürüm, which has a little bit less points, but usually tastes as good. However, this time I was a little bit disappointed with it, but you cannot always have a winner. Still 19 points. And in the evening I composed myself a nice soup made of some noodles, 10 points worth of them, some corn, diced tomato pieces, and as usual as a basis I used broth, which cost me 1 point, so 11 points for that. The day then added up to 46 points, but since I earned 3 points from walking, I could put back the last remaining borrowed point into my weekly allowance, which means I didn't use it at all so far this week. On Saturday it was bread rolls, cold cuts and some eggs again, 13 points.
Hey, I'm out for a little walk today and it is, I have to say, a little bit colder than I would have expected it to be, so I actually had to close my jacket, which is happening quite seldomly. Why am I linking in at all is just basically to tell you, as you can see, I finally managed to get a haircut. It was long overdue, but finally I managed to squeeze it into my calendar. That's it. Today was the first time in quite a while where I went into a supermarket and still wear my mask, because the mask mandates were dropped I think a month or 2 ago, and since then I didn't wear it if I feel safe enough, but today every second one going shopping was either sneezing or coughing or both, so they were not wearing a mask, so I had to do it, because if they are assholes, if they don't protect me, if they don't protect anyone else and not themselves, then at least I have to look out for myself. So just wanted to share that.
For lunch, I just used up the remains of my noodle soup from the day before, because I wasn't able to finish that back then. So another 5 points. In the evening I got busy creating my self-made potato salad, for which I cooked up about 2 kilograms worth of potatoes. Then I diced 3 different kinds of gherkin, sour pickles, normal pickles and a cucumber. And then of course I used low-calorie mayonnaise. I threw in 3 different kinds of onions and 3 different kinds of bell pepper. You can see 3 is a magic number in my salad, and back in the day when I was not watching my weight, I would also throw in 3 different kinds of sauce. So it would be mayonnaise, sour cream and creme fraiche. Regarding points, this whole bowl of potato salad, which was 4 kilograms, contains 29 points worth of potatoes and 29 points for the mayonnaise, so 58 points. Which means that 1 point comes down to roughly 70 grams of salad. And of course I had to sample straight away 5 points worth of salad, which turned out quite good again, but the taste was a little bit different in the beginning, so I assume maybe the mayonnaise recipe changed a little bit lately, or maybe I did something wrong, I don't know. After the first and second bite though, it tastes like usual and was just great. Of course the salad will return over the next week as well, because eating that all will take quite a while. And as I cooked too many potatoes, I also had 2 of them just with sour cream, and I heated up 2 wieners to get along with those. And these wieners, believe it or not, just come with 1 point per wiener. Which is crazy if you remember that last week I had 4 wieners that added up to 26 points. They still don't taste as good as the variety I'm still searching, and I guess they are not produced anymore, which were made with a little bit of yogurt in it, but maybe I find them along the way. Until then I can use this brand, because even though they don't taste as well as the others, you just can't beat just 1 point per sausage. 9 points for this. I still had 12 points remaining this day, and that I invested in some nice snacks, 7 points worth of them, to have while watching TV. And I also ate a corner of the fresh bread I just bought that day, which you have to eat the same day, otherwise it's just a waste, and had it with some nice bacon, which cost me 5 points. So I ended the day on spot, and as I also earned 3 points from walking, I ended the complete week actually with my weekly allowance intact and 3 points saved up, which hopefully will show tomorrow when I step on the scales. It's Sunday, and of course, as you know, this means it's weighing day. And as I say it just started snowing, which is quite nice, and you might even see that on the video. But let's cut to the chase. You know that this week I was walking more than last week, so I was hoping to lose a little bit of weight, and actually I did. So I was losing half a kilogram, which is a little bit more than a pound. I was also gaining muscle mass quite a lot, like 1.5 points and 2 points down of body fat, which I consider quite a success, even though in the past I said I will not bother with those numbers anymore because they are going up and down anyway in a weird way that no one can predict. But also I have to say that this time, for the first time in quite a while, also my visceral fat went down 1 point, which, as I said, happened quite seldomly. And the visceral fat is the fat inside your gut, so the one that is actually dangerous to your body. So that also went down a point, and I'm happy about that. So I would say this week was quite successful. I hope your week was also successful in those regards. I wish you all to have as much fun as you can over the next few weeks. I will enjoy those because I still have 4 weeks of PTO left, which I plan to apply to me cleaning out my flat and cleaning out my head. So both of it should be quite clean afterwards when I go back to work, which was needed because I worked through the holidays and I really needed a break. So that is me for this week. Again, like I said, I wish you all the best for the next weeks, and I hope we see each other again when the next video drops on Monday next week. So until then, thank you for watching and see you soon, hopefully.